week later and I am still living for Lisa Rinna, so let's get into this review. We open up with the coke in the bathroom scene and Cal's face. Cal is always shocked at the drama going on, and it's always drama at a dinner table. These ladies have no manners. They are always popping off at a dinner table. So this is why I believe Lisa Rinna, because after she said, "Were you all doing coke in the bathroom?" Dorit's first response, her initial response, her natural response, she said, "Well, I certainly wasn't doing coke in the bathroom." What? Like, she wasn't shocked, she wasn't offended. It was, "Well, I certainly wasn't doing it." Really? So that's your response? And then after Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump jumped in, it was just like, "Oh, that's just rude. Why would you say that?" Then Dorit started to get offended and shocked, and she couldn't believe that somebody would say that about her. But her initial response was, I wasn't doing it. And again, I'm here for Lisa Rinna because she says to Dorit, if you can call me on Xanax and me having a Xanax problem and saying something like that to a group of people at the table, then I can call you on your coke. And you know what? All's fair in love and war. Dorit was bringing up the Xanax thing as probably like to be jokey, but it's still something that's getting around that could do damage to her career or whatever, or just her reputation. So she could bring up the coke thing if that's what she thought, because you thought she had a Xanax problem, she thinks she got a coke problem. It's all fair in loving Beverly Hills Housewives. Y'all all messy, so you can't get upset when somebody messier comes for you. So after the dinner in the car, Lisa Vanderpump is coaching Dorit, and she's telling her, this is what she does. You can't break. I've been there. I know how to handle her. Whatever, Lisa Vanderpump. You and Rinna were both very messy that season when y'all were calling Yolanda a fake and saying that she has Munchausen. So y'all were both messy. The problem is you didn't expect for Rinna to call you out on it. So you guys were both wrong, and you can't play victim here. And then Dorit is just like, I have 2 small babies, but I do coke? Yeah. I'm not saying that Dorit does coke, but I'm just like, to use small children as an excuse, please. There are lots of people, especially in Beverly Hills, who do coke with small children, big children, no children. Listen, it's a recreational drug in Los Angeles. I'm just going to be real. Like, it is just, it's not taboo there. Not taboo. And it has no age limit, because them rich kids, them rich teens, be getting lit on the coke. It's a suburban thing. It has to be, because we wasn't doing coke when I was a kid. We had Dare. So the next day is awkward. The ladies are going on a shopping trip in Hong Kong, but it's really weird. Nobody's really talking about what happened. Erika Jayne is acting all cool, like she didn't try to rip Eileen's throat out last night. And Eileen is just really, really uncomfortable. She's trying to check out of this whole thing. Although I'm not a fan of Erika Jayne, I will say this. She looked great. I loved her glasses. I love her top knot. She looked really great. Her glam squad did her well. And let me tell you something. Retail therapy is real. I've had many moments where I have been depressed and in the gutter. But when I got me a coin or two, I did a little retail therapy. I felt so much better. It's real, guys. It is real. I remember I was so like my job wasn't going well. I was working for a boss that I could not stand, and I was just so depressed. My birthday was coming up and I was just miserable. I started searching for out of the blue, I just started searching for because I love stars. I was looking for a star print romper. Is it called a romper? No, it's just a short one. Jumpsuit. Yes. Star print jumpsuit. And I found it. And I'm telling you, when I got that jumpsuit, my life changed. My days became brighter. I wore that thing everywhere. And when I lose this weight, I'm gonna get back in it, and I'm gonna be all over this YouTube channel in that star jumpsuit. You better get ready. So while they're shopping, Eden decides to buy Erika Jayne a friendship ring, and it was like 172 American dollars, but it was like 1,000, like 1,700 in Hong Kong dollars. Hong Kong dollars, is that correct? Anyway, yen. You know what? Nope, I'm not gonna go there. It was, in other money, it was $1,700. And Erika Jayne was going around talking about Eden to the ladies. Like, she brought me a friendship, trying to make it seem like Eden was weird. And I hate that, because Eden is I'm not saying she's different. She's just not like the rest of the women, and I don't like the fact that they are like pushing her out like that, like trying to make her odd or like the weird freaky girl, like not freaky like that, but like freaky like, ooh, she's different. You know how people would treat like the golf kids in high school? I feel like that's what they're doing to Eden, and I'm telling you, I honestly feel like they're doing that because Eden shared a crack house with Kim Richards, and she just knows too much, and I feel like they're trying to get her off the show, and I think they probably will, because I don't think Eden is coming back next season. She disappeared. She really did, and I think it's because she was shunned. I really do, and that's sad because I would like to get to know more of her, but she just wasn't really welcomed, especially when the Richards sisters found out about her being on the show, and just, you know, her talking very openly about her past. I felt like at that point that pretty much sealed her fate on that show, and the popular girls got the new weird chick out. I'm not going to talk about the Yulin Festival. You guys all know how I feel about Americans, Europeans going over there minding China's business. Not going to get into that, but what I will say is that the puppies got me. I was like, oh my goodness, puppies? But hey, we eat calves, right? I've never ate, I forget what it's called, but I've never ate a baby calf. I never ate a calf, right? It's called something. It's not filet mignon. What is it called? Something, but I've never ate a calf because I just couldn't do that. But I tear their parents up. Is that terrible? I'm trying to get off of meat. I really am. I don't like eating death or suffering. I don't, and I'm moving away from it. So we'll see how well I do, because I'm from Philadelphia. I grew up on cheesesteaks. You know what I mean? So it's hard, guys, but I'm trying to move away from it because it is affecting me. And so I want to move away from it, but I'm not going to make anybody else feel bad for eating a steak, you know what I mean, or treat or give certain hierarchy to different animals, and not do it for all, you know what I mean. If you're not going to eat a dog, don't eat a chicken. Just my opinion. But anyway, the dogs did get me, and I was kind of shocked that Eileen couldn't take that dog home right away. I get the lady saying that there's going to be a lot of paperwork. But I didn't think that it would be like impossible. The way she was saying it was just like it would take forever, and I'm just like, really? A dog? So the ladies are finally back in LA. Erika Jane, Kyle, and Eileen meet for lunch, and it's still pretty awkward. Eileen is very tense because Erika Jane hasn't said anything, and I'm just like, Erika Jane, it's been such a long time. Like, come on, you know. It seems like some time has passed, and I'm just shocked that she hasn't said anything to her. But finally, Erika Jane does. After beating around the bush for the majority of the lunch, she finally says, I'm sorry. And it was an okay apology, in my opinion. I felt like it was kind of a throwaway. I feel like Erika Jane is the type of person who doesn't like to be wrong, and she doesn't like to apologize. And I got that from her apology. It was kind of like a throwaway, and I'm just like, you can't really throw an apology for something like that away. You were really harsh to Eileen, who has been a great friend to you and was protecting you, somebody who loves you, and to just throw it away, just like, oh, I was stressed, you know what I'm saying? And then she was like patting her to like make it go away quicker. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I felt like she could have been a bit more sincere. I think she could have spent a little bit longer on that apology, and I think Eileen deserved more than a pat on the knee. You know, that was brutal. That affected me watching it. You know what I mean? When Eileen started crying, I was like, oh no, Erika Jane, you got to do more than that. So I'm glad she gave her an apology. I think it was weak. I think she could have did better, because the impact that she had on Eileen was deep, and the apology, in my opinion, should match the offense. While at the lunch, Kyle asked Erika if she thinks that Dorit's apology was sincere. No, if she accepted Dorit's apology. And Erika was just like, I don't think it's sincere. And I say that because after this lunch scene, we cut to Dorit and the other housewife, PK, discussing Hong Kong. And Dorit, for me, I felt like the apology, everything that she said to Erika Jayne went right out the window because she was back to being catty and nasty with her husband talking about the situation. And then the alabaster Peter Thomas says, oh, she's talking about me apologizing to her husband. Why would I apologize to her husband? She hasn't seen her husband in 6 months. And I was just like, that's going to come back to bite you in the behind at the reunion. And also, Erika Jayne has seen her husband in 6 months. What's the tea, Miss PK? Let us know. Finally get to Erika Jayne's debut on The Young and the Restless. I think she did a really, really good job. I hope that Erika Jayne gets more acting opportunities because I think she did good. I think she would be very good for Young and the Restless or like a some type of soap opera show. Girl, I forget his name. Ryan something, but he is the producer for American Horror Story. Become friends with him and get you on that show because I think that you'll be a good fit for that. Ryan Murphy, yes. If you're not friends with him, become friends with him so you can get on that show because I think you would be a good fit for that show. But anyway, we get a little peek into Eileen's life on The Young and the Restless, and Erika Jayne was actually in her first dressing room, which, I have to say, dressing rooms, especially in studios, I guess you have to be like a certain level of an actor to get like a really nice dressing room. I haven't seen nice dressing rooms, and it's been for like big stars. And Eileen has been on Young and the Restless before I was even thought about. You know what I mean? And maybe that was just her old dressing room, so we didn't really get to see the new one. But I was just like, that dressing room was so beat up and worn down. It seemed like nobody has touched it since the 80s. And that's true. Like, I've been to a lot of studios, and the dressing rooms, I'm just like, this looks like a public restroom. Like, you would think that a studio would have a much more glamorous dressing room. It's not the case for a lot of studios. I'm talking about big networks. The money going somewhere. It ain't going to them dressing rooms. Vanderpump is preparing for her daughter, Aquafina. What? Pandora. Why did I call her Aquafina? Pandora's, her and her husband are releasing a rosé. White people love rosé. I've come to find out on this show. So our daughter's releasing a rosé, and she wants to have like a debut party for the rosé and like bring her rich friends around to get the word out. And Kevin Lee, who did Pandora's wedding, is helping Lisa, or like designing it and planning it and putting it all together. And he's a very, very talented guy. But I did want to mention him because, and I've seen Lisa do this a lot, especially with gay people. I feel like Lisa Vanderpump treats her gay friends like she treats her pets. Like, they're fun to look at, they're fun to have a laugh with, they're fun to carry around or have on your arm as accessories, but I don't ever think that she would see a gay person as her equal. That is just my opinion, because her interactions with gay people is so like, she was like just saying inappropriate things that I feel like a straight person shouldn't say to a person who's gay, and just really like making fun of his like sexual attraction to men. And, you know, like, I don't know, like, Kevin never once mentioned anything about the guy. I think he was like playing along, like, he was playing along the way people who work for rich people play along. You know what I mean? You accept certain insults, you accept certain jabs because, you know, this is your employer and you don't want to upset them because you know that bad publicity, especially in small communities of rich people, is not good publicity for you. And he's not in, you know what I mean? I feel like if he was her equal, if he was in, he probably would have addressed that. But because he's working for her still and has worked for her for some time, I don't think that he would mention it. But it was just, I don't know, I just didn't like how she was like trying to like goad him into saying things to one of the guys that was working with the horses, and just kept on making fun of like his sexuality, and don't ask him if before you even say anything he's straight. And I'm just like, from what I see, I don't think Kevin even gave that off. He was talking about the rosé party, so why would you even bring up if he's attracted to the guy? Kevin played along, and I get it because I've been there. I've worked for wealthy people. It's triggering. It really is, because they have a way of seeing middle class and lower class people, and it's not humane. It is not humane. Props to the ones who do, because I imagine it's pretty difficult to do that when you're so high above everyone. But oof, Never again. This is why I'm doing my YouTube show. I want to be the only rich person I work for. Hello. So like, comment, and share, please. So I can get these YouTube coins. Okay? Wedges. I love Erika Jayne's Glam Squad. When Erika Jayne was telling her Glam Squad the attire for Lisa's or Pandora's rose party, they were like, wedges? And I had the same reaction. I was like, who wears wedges in 2017? Do people still wear wedges that aren't 70 years old? I don't know. But that scene was so funny because I had the same reaction. And you know, Erika Jayne's Glam Squad is pure goals for me. I would love to have I will have a Glam Squad, and they will be beautiful, glittery, woke, diverse, and strong. Very open-minded, great people who I can have a joke with and have a really good relationship like Erika Jayne has with her Glam Squad. I'm looking forward to that day. I already have 2 people in mind who are going to be a part of my Glam Squad. I'm still looking for the stylist, but I have my hair person, I have my makeup person. I just have to afford them because they're very wealthy. We're friends, but they're pricey. They're pricey. But yeah, that scene was just so funny to me. Wedges! I was like, yes! And then Erika Jayne's hairstylist pulls out this pink wig, and I love how they think. I love how they dress her. She has a really good Glam Squad. Jealous. Not Dorit jealous. Like cute, fun, fan out jealous. Dorit, I agree with Jagger. No. I don't know what you were doing with that foil in the hair. Leave that on the Prada runway. It should not ever go on a normal person's head. That was like a showpiece. Some showpieces are just that, a showpiece. It just did not transfer. Kevin Lee is a lot. Like, to watch him as a viewer, I'm just like, oh gosh. If you watch Love and Hip Hop, he reminds me of Lovely Mimi. Just like, not like stereotypical, but just a lot to deal with. Anyway, he is a lot, but he does great work. He always, like, I feel like he gets Vanderpump, he gets her idea, and he always makes everything that she does just very beautiful and magical and comforting and inviting. If I could afford it, I would get Kevin Lee to host anything I do or to plan anything that I do because he has such a great eye. Pandora's Rosé Party was beautiful. Ladies are all arriving to Pandora's Rosé Party, and I'm just kind of confused because I don't know, like, I read the dress code or the attire, but I'm not sure if the ladies really understood what Lisa Vanderpump was saying because they're all arriving in just different genres of style, and I'm like, where did the invitation get lost in translation? Because none of them hit the mark. Erika Jayne looks like she's going to a ball hosted by the House of H&M. Eileen looks like she's going shopping for some shabby chic furniture at the Long Beach Farmers Market. Rinna is going to a Halloween party in a Greek goddess costume for $12.99 from the Halloween store. That LeMay, whatever that was, poorly made. The material cheap. Look like it comes off on your fingers. Kyle looks like she's going to the baby shower of a 50-year-old friend who was finally pregnant with her miracle child. I mean, it was so elderly. Dorit is going to a Game of Thrones funeral, and Lisa Vanderpump is going to a wedding that's in the backyard in the valley. I'm talking like Encino. I'm just so confused. So next week is the season finale, and honestly, I felt like it was quick, but I'm kind of glad it's ending. I don't really feel like the ladies brought it this season. Eden like disappeared in the back. I felt like the most juiciest storyline was Pantygate, and that's not saying much. You know what I mean? They really didn't bring it until Lisa Rinna popped up with coke in the bathroom, and I'm just like, you could have did that episode 3. You know what I mean? But it's just, I don't know. I don't really feel like the ladies brought it this season. I'm kind of ready for them to go. I'm also ready for Atlanta to wrap up. It's just been 2 Atlanta has just been too nasty. You know, it's been drama, but the drama is nasty. There's no comic relief. That's the thing. I think each show needs to have a balance. There needs to be a balance of comedy. There needs to be a balance of drama. There needs to be a balance of like real life reality. And I wouldn't mind knowing what's going on with them career-wise as well. And I just don't feel like this season had that. And it's sad because I really like Beverly Hills. But for right now, I'm looking forward to New York coming back because those ladies bring it every time. I never have complaints about New York. Ever since Homegirl took her leg off and said the only thing fake about me is this, I've been a fan of New York. And nobody is as shady as Countess Luann. So I'm looking forward to New York, and I'm looking forward to Orange County because, I mean, you got Vicki Gunvalson and Tamara, Crazy Tamara on that show. You're going to get some type of spark. So I'm looking forward to those two shows coming back. But Beverly Hills, y'all got to bring it next season. Y'all have loyal fans, and I don't know how loyal the fans are going to be if you guys don't bring it. So bring it. Shake up the girls or something. Get the old ones out and bring some new ones in. Let us get some fresh meat. I don't know what it is, but I should not be happy to see the show go. That's all I'm saying. See you next week for the season finale of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.